Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Inshallah soon. Yeah.
I already started it live just to show everyone how you
Oh,
sit around all day going Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Six
Yeah.
Socks on the Rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the planet.
I even have my tasbih here, which is I always go Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah for my Sufi times, because that's what I used to do. I would go like Alhamdulillah, 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 Allahu Akbar. The thing is, the difference is just that there is a Buddha face here. I hope this is not considered shirk, but I don't know.
That's a Buddha face.
Yeah, there's a little Buddha head on here. A little Buddha head.
Trying to see. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Nice. Classy AP, classy AP. Hey,
Yes.
have you heard of the show called The Boom Boom Room? Muhammad's Boom Boom Room?
Oh yeah, this is from the Hadith, right? It was. It is mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, I think, the Boom Boom Room.
Yeah. Muhammad said that he would go around to all his wives in a single night. But that was a corruption. He would have each of them show up in turn to his room
Oh
called
yeah.
the Boom Boom Room.
I will go boom boom on all of you in one night. Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, we got a new episode of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. It's actually on the short end of the spectrum. I was telling Vocab after season one. I was like, the episodes kept getting longer and longer until like the Joker one was like 20 some minutes long. And I was comparing that to like skits like Key and Peele and stuff, or they'll have a skit and the entire thing is like a minute and 45 seconds or a minute and 30 seconds and stuff. And I was like, why can't it just be I don't know, why can't it just be nice short ones where it starts off, some point gets made, Muhammad flips out and blows everything up. Anyway, we never quite got there. We did cut him down a little bit. And then this one, the one we're going to be, the new one, is I think it's around 6 minutes. So that's on the short end of the spectrum. And so we're going to check that out. We're going to check out the new episode. And then I couldn't resist. We're going to go through AP's episode as Sigmund Freud.
Alhamdulillah.
Because people keep requesting Adolf for the Boom Boom Room. AP has volunteered. However, to me, AP sounds like he has the soothing voice of a psychiatrist, which makes him perfect for Sigmund Freud. We have to hear him yell at some point, so we know how well he does it. Now, to his advantage, he's basically memorized every speech that guy ever gave, and so he'll know the cadence.
I am the expert on Hitler speeches. I would go to sleep and listening to Hitler speeches and all that. So there is a point to be made here.
Oh, hey, I made a poll earlier. That poll's still up. 784 votes. I said, who will survive Muhammad meets David Wood? Muhammad, 7% of people think that Muhammad would survive. David Wood, 62% think that I will survive. And then 31% say neither of us will survive.
I like that option.
Yes, we're going to check that out. Let's go through a couple super chats real quick. And then I did want to briefly mention a news story about an attack today. Then we'll jump into the new episode, and then we'll check out a classic episode. How about Muhammad meets the Pope?
Which Pope? Is that me or the actual Pope?
Yeah, I'd have to decide. There, you have to decide which direction you want to go with that.
Yeah.
That's a possibility, though. AP in the Boom Boom Room, but it's just Muhammad looking at a clock for 15 minutes. And the minute AP arrives, it ends. That would be funny. We already recorded Muhammad meets the apostate prophet way back in the day. But yeah, that would be funny if he's just sitting there. I also have ideas, like some that would be really, really short. Like we would just need Ben Shapiro to just sit in a chair for a minute and just film him, and the episode would be "Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room," blah 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 blah, and he gives a little intro, and then he looks over, and he sees that it's Ben Shapiro sitting there, and he looks back at the camera, and he looks back at Ben Shapiro, and he looks back at the camera, and he just detonates it, like no word. You don't even have to say a word. Ben doesn't have to say a word. Be
Damn,
similar.
I just came up with an idea for an episode, but I'll tell you about that later.
Oh, okay. And the other one would, of course, be the other one. What would be like just instant detonation would be just Mike Winger. If Mike Winger was in there, Muhammad would be like, "This is the only guy in the world who's worse than I am." We're just gonna skip to the end. Skip to the end. Let's see. Even the AI is talking about AP always being late. Wow, that is wild.
Fun.
Have you guys heard about Tumaj having his death sentence overturned? You heard about that, right?
I haven't heard it. No,
What?
I have no idea.
What are you talking about, man? We're sitting here. We did a whole show on Tumaj, and his death sentence got overturned. You're not even paying attention to that?
I didn't know about that. His death sentence got overturned. I had no idea about that.
Now, what is that? Is that? I mean, was it just the death sentence that overturned, but he's going to be in prison for a long time, or the? Yeah, it just says death sentence overturned. I'm gonna go ahead and read this real quick. I'm gonna read this out loud. So this is the first time
Court assessed that past 6 years in prison was excessive, more than what is normally allowed for such cases by law. So they said it cannot be more than 6 years imprisonment, which would include death sentence would be more than 6 years imprisonment. So that's what they decided.
I'll read a little bit of this. BBC says a jailed Iranian rapper sentenced to death for supporting anti-government protest has had his sentence overturned on appeal by the Supreme Court, his lawyer has said. Tumaj Salehi, so guys, that was the rapper when we were looking at some clips from him when we had our good friend Armin Navabi on with us, who was breaking down the situation in Iran. But he was arrested in October 2022 after making public statements in support of protests that had exploded across Iran. Not exploded like this episode of Boom Boom Room. His lawyer, Amir, said the Supreme Court has now ordered a retrial. Okay, so he's got a retrial. And that the judges decided that Salehi's previous prison sentence of 6 years and 3 months went against Iran's multiple offenses rules and was in excess of the legal punishment. Well, the 6 years isn't the main issue. The main issue is that he was sentenced to death. What is that? Salehi was initially sentenced to prison in July 2023 after avoiding a death sentence due to a Supreme Court ruling. But the following January, the Revolutionary Court in the city of Isfahan charged him with new offenses. He was sentenced to death in April for the capital offense of corruption on earth. Corruption on earth. You know that verse, Surah 5, verse 33, which says gives various penalties for spreading corruption on earth. And then Western politicians quote the verse before that, which is a revelation to the Jews and a quotation from the Talmud. They'll say, see, it says right here, if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. And they ignore the very next verse, which commands all kinds of killing. And we point out that because that claim is extremely vague, to be death sentence, beheading, crucifixion, whatever, for the vague crime of spreading mischief or corruption, that kind of allows leaders to make anything a death penalty, right? And so what did Ali Dawa say in his, if you're going to cause corruption in the land by spreading it, right?
Yeah.
He tossed that in there. Places like Iran, Saudi Arabia, they'll charge you with spreading corruption in the land. And that would apply if you're walking around, you're a woman, you refuse to wear a hijab or something like that. What are you doing? You're spreading corruption. So good to be pretty clear and precise if you're talking about executing people. So anyway, he was sentenced to death for the capital offense of corruption on earth. The musician was also found guilty of a string of other offenses, including assistance in sedition, calling for riots, collusion, and propaganda against the state. Salehi's case has been returned to court for resentencing. Even a shorter period of imprisonment would be an injustice. Salehi has done nothing other than to call for his and other Iranians' fundamental rights to be respected. Interesting. Good. Well, that is good news. We don't always get good news, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have some good news. Although we'll have to see what they do on the resentencing. Because one of the things Armin broke down for us is that the Iranian leaders constantly have to impress the hardline Shias, because that's kind of their only support base anymore. So you can't do that if you're cutting sentences and stuff like that and letting people slide. So it's going to be rough. It's a rough situation.
Yeah, they like to put on sexy dresses and things like that to impress the conservative crowds. And yeah, it's difficult.
Yep, it's super hot. So yeah, that is good news. Muhammad wins by stunning D Wood with a stupid verse. Yeah, that'd be the way to do it. This is how Norm Fink would say your name in debate. Mr. Idios Mio. What? Mr. Idios Mio.
Indeed.
Mossad agent Radiator strikes Kaaba, kills all. Muhammad will survive because he isn't a wingaling. He might be.
No.
Something wrong with the live. D Wood is on the wrong side of the screen. This is very confusing. Yeah. Sometimes I like to throw people off. Saw Jordan Peterson interview with urban warfare expert. Too long for watch through, but there's some clip gems like Israel being the best in history at minimizing civilian casualties. You might need to check that out and get that clip, AP.
Best.
You hear that?
Yes.
Saying that Israel's actually the best in history. David, this is my first super chat. Always love what you do. AP as well. Jesus Christ is our hope. Zabubas.
the random Zabubas.
You keep getting comments about Radiator. As a Jew in a very blue city, it's been hell since October 7th. Thanks for being brave and speaking out against the death cult that is Islamism. Yes.
Isn't that so
continue
weird?
To do so. What?
It's like isn't it supposed to be the red ones? Allegedly, that's what we heard all the time. Supposedly the conservative, the right wing ones, that are supposed to be bad for the Jews. But from the beginning of this whole war, it has been the other side that is mainly just talking about, that is mainly making it normal and making it acceptable to say Jews, they don't deserve to live, they don't deserve to exist, they don't deserve to have their own country, and so on. It's very, very messed up.
Yeah, we're not going to watch it, but I think it was there was a clip circulating earlier on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Where people were fighting in the streets out in, what was that, California or something like that? I think it was California. I think it was like L.A. And people are out fighting in the streets.
Yeah. They were targeting people outside a synagogue, I think, synagogue goers or something. I don't know.
Now, see, that's if that's the case, that's a different level of messed up. So it's one thing if you have two groups of protesters and they clash or something like that. Someone throws a bottle and then it escalates and stuff like that. But there you'd be dealing with two groups of of protesters, something like that. If you're just waiting outside a synagogue when they show up, that would be different. When they come out, that's a little different. That's a different situation.
A bit messed up.
That would be like me going and Muslims, how would you like it if I went outside, like the Dome of the Rock, started talking trash? How would you like that? How would that make you feel? Yeah, you wouldn't like that, would you? You wouldn't like that, would you? Let's see. A couple more, and then we'll jump into a video. Crusader General says, no sympathy for the 1,000 crispy critter. Uh-oh. This guy has no sympathy for the people who died in the Hajj. Just keep in mind, these are people who are told all their lives that their God, the creator of the universe, is obsessed with them going to Mecca and kissing this pagan black stone and walking circles around this giant pagan Borg cube, but it's required. So they've been conditioned to do that, and sometimes they sign up, and common sense goes out the window because common sense would tell you if it's 112 degrees outside, don't go. Stay inside.
Yeah,
Stay inside.
it's true.
Let's see. Hey, AP moved to Germany from South America 3 months ago. Pegida seems full of boomers complaining it be better to just expose Islam as it is. Opinion? I don't understand
Yeah,
half that. So,
Pegida is a movement in Germany that started like 10 years ago, which is patriotic Europeans against the Islamization of the Occident, um, which started mainly from Eastern Germany as a major movement of protests, of walking outside and saying we don't want more Islam, we don't need more Islam, get out of here, and all that. And has also been a movement that distanced itself explicitly from Nazi stuff and from communist stuff, and also explicitly against Islam things. But yeah, the problem with it is that the movement kind of gives the impression that it mainly consists of older people who are just like, this is my country, I don't want nobody else coming here, except in a German way, you know. So, so
mine.
but yeah, I mean, they also have their value. Honestly, I have so in the past I was kind of suspicious about them and had my indifference on, to put it nicely, but lately I have just come to kind of appreciate them and to respect them, because they were the ones who were being mocked and who were harassed day and night 10 years ago, when it was considered a ridiculously absurd conspiracy theory that Islam is going to that there is an Islamization, that Islam is going to rise and take over entire cities and so on. It's now becoming reality, and they're openly admitting it nowadays and being proud of it. So these were the people who were marching out there and calling it out and opposing it, and I have therefore nothing but respect for Pegida and similar groups nowadays. But yeah, of
So
course,
there,
we can have different approaches to the situation.
yeah. So there you have a 3-hour defense of the German far right rising up again. Thanks, AP.
Thanks to the German far right. Also, I hope the AfD, which is the new right party, rises to power and significantly changes things in Germany and Europe. There, I said
Won't
it.
change.
Alhamdulillah.
Won't change. Go get a bunker somewhere.
Yes. No.
All right, this is good to lead into the episode here. Will Tommy Robinson ever enter the Boom Boom Room? That is up to Tommy. If he's in the U.S. sometime, or I mean, in theory, it's kind of hard traveling over there just for an episode. But yeah, if he's going around the U.S. or something, I know he's in Canada. I don't know if he's there right now. I know he was as of a couple days ago. But no, he's been in Canada. So yeah, if he's in the U.S. and he wants to be in there, we will take care of everything. We will write the script, record it, all that stuff. But yeah, he could be in there himself. All right. Speaking of Boom Boom Room, we've got the new episode of the Boom Boom Room. Let's go ahead and check this out. And it's Muhammad finally meets his hero, David Wood.
Is there a way to make us smaller?
What?
Is there a way to make us smaller so you can see the whole thing on the screen here?
What, you want to see the little edge of that thing?
I want to see the whole picture here. That's what I want to see. You moved in the wrong direction.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Is that better?
Yes. Now just move us back there.
Are you happy
See?
now?
Yes, I'm happy.
It's so much better now. I see an extra quarter of an inch of the screen. It's so important. All right.
It's important.
Now I have to rewind it because no one wants to miss that sick beat. Here we go. Can we all just pause and thank Muhammad Hijab for convincing me to do this?
Yes. Thank you, Muhammad Job.
Here we go. The beat is sick. It's sick.
Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, where all of my guests either agree with me completely or they go boom.
They do.
I am your host, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon me. And with me now is an unbelievably handsome super genius who always speaks the truth, even when he's exposing me as the most obvious false prophet in history.
He's making good
He
points.
is the great, the mighty, the wonderful David Wood. David, so kind and generous of you to join me here today.
Happy to be here, Muhammad. You have a fine show, you endearingly gullible little pervert, you.
I am gullible. It's probably why the demons find it so easy to control me.
Demons? I guess that explains all the mass murder and wife beating and child molestation you've been promoting.
Good point.
I know, right? I have to confess, I can't remember being in the presence of someone who exudes such rugged masculinity. I feel like you have the virility of 120 men when I only have the virility of 30 men. So you're like 11 more times more masculine than I am.
Good at math, too.
And you smell so delightful. How did you become so... Wait! I'm supposed to hate you! Why am I saying all of this?
You're saying it because I wrote the script.
You did what now?
I wrote the script for this video, so you have to do everything I say.
What are you talking about?
The script. I wrote the script for Muhammad Meets David Wood. Would you
Nice
like
short
to take
script,
a
too.
peek so you can see what happens next?
Why would you invite me to read the script when, as everyone knows, I can't read?
Let's see. I'm about to ask you why you're hitting yourself.
What? I'm not gonna... Ow, what was that?
Why are you hitting yourself?
Stop it! This is my studio! You can't! Ow!
Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah, it doesn't make
Why
any
are
sense.
you... Ah! Why are you doing this to me?
Doing what, Muhammad?
You're controlling what I say and what I do. I don't like it.
Oh, so you don't like it when someone writes things down for you to say and do, and you don't really want to say and do them.
Ah.
I hate it. Oh!
But isn't that exactly what you did with Abraham and Moses and Mary and Jesus? Didn't you compose their lines for them in your stupid book, making them say and do what you wanted for your own personal agenda?
That's
Nice.
not what I did at all. I received revelations from the great God, Allah.
From who?
From Satan, the Prince of Darkness, my true master.
At least you're finally being honest.
What? No, I didn't mean to say that. Stop making me say things I don't mean.
How does it feel? How does it feel having someone you can't stand writing your lines for you?
It sucks, man. It really, really sucks.
Well, now you know how just about everyone in the Quran feels when some illiterate 7th century Arabian caravan robber rewrites their lives and teachings to bring them in line with his idiotic pagan nonsense.
Okay, I take it back, man.
You take back the Quran.
I take it back. I take it all back.
That's
Just
good.
leave me alone.
It's progress.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to be a no-go on leaving you alone.
Why? Why can't you just go do something else? Like, go play with your retarded children. You make all these videos
Whoa,
exposing
he
my
crossed the
obvious
line with
lies,
that
and
one.
I don't like it.
I'm afraid I can't leave you alone because some of your followers are still going around slaughtering people in the name of your stupid book.
I said to take it back, man.
Yeah, but some of your followers still don't realize that your book is total nonsense, so they keep killing for you.
Well, what if I tell them that I made it all up and that Jesus Christ is the true Lord who died on the cross for sins and rose again on the third day, and that I'm roasting in hell for being the most obvious false prophet in history. Will you leave me alone then?
I'll tell you what. You order all of your followers to stop killing, to stop threatening people, and to take down every video they ever made attacking Nabeel Qureshi.
And then you'll stop making fun of me?
No, I'm still going to make fun of you.
Don't negotiate with terrorists.
What? Not if I blow you up first. Al-Masihu al-Akbar. Wait, did I just say that the Messiah is the greatest?
Yeah, you said it. Jesus is greater than you. He's greater than Allah. You just committed shirk. No takebacks.
Whoa. Wow. Wow. That beat, though. Hey guys, who should be next? Who should be next?
That was good.
Yeah, I like that one because nice short 6-minute episode.
That was actually good.
That was actually on its way to being over 20 minutes. I noticed I had three main points as I was outlining the script. And then I just decided, well, why don't I just stick with that first point, and then I'll save the other 2 points for separate videos with different characters. So that's what I did with that. That
was the first episode that was actually good, like compared to all the other stuff that you did. I have to say though, that was very good writing. The concept was very, very, very interesting because I didn't really expect that twist at some point, but then caught onto it when you said, how does it feel when somebody else writes?
How does it feel?
That was a good way to turn things around and turn it into a smart little project.
That was one of the original ideas behind Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, is that Muhammad was basically the 7th century guy who's just rewriting everything, and he can turn everyone into a character in his book and just have them doing whatever he wants. And it was like, okay, well, I could do that with him. We could do the same thing with we can have Muhammad as a character and a bunch of other characters.
That was smart.
Yeah, it was based, and the actual road to the Boom Boom Room was this goes back to hijab, and I was required to make all these agreements about things that about all these things that all these rules for the debate we had. Then when I go in there, he breaks all of them. I stick to all of them because I'm fine. Because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mess with your prophet real hard afterwards. So I decided, all right, what am I going to do afterwards? Wasn't sure, but that's when you start kind of feeling out the crowd, right? Like, hey, what's going on here? You start tossing stuff out there and seeing what annoys people, right? That's fishing for information. But we made a video where Vocab made a small appearance as Muhammad. This is before we had the character. He just dresses up in his Islamic gear, and he meets R. Kelly. This was not the Boom Boom Room, but I saw after we did that little thing where Muhammad makes an appearance. I saw a video by I forgot the guy's name. He's up in the New York area. I remember him up there, but I saw him make a video saying, this was dumb, dude. This was dumb. He made a video saying, all right, I've been getting contacted by lots of Muslims who want to know what we're supposed to do about David Wood having Prophet Muhammad in a video. Guys, just don't react right now. We have to think through this. And I'm just sitting there thinking, thank you. Thank you for letting me know what just upset. Because I'm just constantly like, hey, let me toss out this point, that point, this point, that point, this point, that point. And all of a sudden people will freak out over something like, oh, thank you for giving me that little bit of information there. So you didn't like Muhammad appearing in a video for an interview, eh? All right. And Muhammad's Boom Boom Room was soon born after that. Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. And let's see.
That's good.
Where
That's
did the beat come from? I'm not sure which site I got it from. I think I got that one when I was editing Islamicize Me and I was looking up various music clips and so on. So it's on one of these sites like Pond5 or one of those kind of sites where you enter the kind of music you're listening for. So I was for Islamicize Me, I was looking up like Arabic sounding beats and so on, and then just picking ones that I liked. But that was one of the ones I liked, and then just tossed it in there. Worked out really well. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of it.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not the worst thing I've heard.
Yeah. All right, take a couple super chats, and then we're going to watch APs. We're going to watch APs. Well, one, AP's been in the Boom Boom Room twice, but the Sigmund Freud episode is, I have to think, that may be my favorite episode. I'd have to think because
Really?
there have been some dope ones.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's one where I like the hilarity, but I also like the point. In some episodes of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, there's not a really important, awesome point. We're just making fun of. We may be making fun of something, but it's not like powerful information or something like that. The Sigmund Freud one had a lot of very important information and a very important argument, and so. We'll check that out here. God bless you, brother and brother to be, hopefully. Brother and brother to be, hopefully. Shekels for you, Mossad Special Wingeling Unit. Hey, don't put those two things together. Mossad is awesome. Wingelings, not so much. Are you aware of the terror attack in Dagestan? A synagogue and churches, quite the few killed. Yeah, I was reading about that earlier. Matter of fact, we bring this up a little bit. So deadly attacks on Dagestan synagogue and churches. Most of the people who were killed were police officers. So those were guys who were... What are you thumping? What's that? Thump, 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 thump. You got something up against your microphone again?
That was my foot, yeah.
Attacks on police officers, 2 churches, and a synagogue in Russia's North Caucasus Republic of Dagestan have left many people dead. Gunmen targeted the cities of Derbent and Makhachkala on the Orthodox festival of Pentecost. Oh, it's Pentecost, Orthodox Pentecost. So that's why they had to go out and attack Christian churches in Dagestan. The dead include at least 6 police officers, a priest, and a security guard. 4 of the attackers are dead, and police are hunting for others. The assailants have not been identified, but Dagestan has in the past been the scene of Islamist attacks.
It has, yes.
The churches and synagogue were set ablaze. Oh, so they set them on. Were set ablaze in Sunday's attacks. An Orthodox church priest was killed in Makhachkala, Dagestan's largest city. Footage posted on social media shows people wearing dark clothes, shooting at police cars before a convoy of emergency vehicles arrive at the scene. In Derbent, home to an ancient Jewish community, gunmen attacked a synagogue and a church, which were then set on fire. An unofficial channel on the Telegram messaging app MASH said gunmen were barricaded in a building in Derbent. And it says there's a police vehicle attacked. Dagestan, one of the poorest parts of Russia, is a predominantly Muslim republic. Well, shouldn't that make it like super safe?
Mm-hmm.
Between 2007 and 2017, so for that decade, a jihadist organization called the Caucasus Emirate and later the Islamic Emirate of the Caucasus staged attacks in Dagestan and the neighboring Russian republics of Chechnya, blah, 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 blah. Isn't that interesting? Like wherever Islam goes, you're talking about Dagestan, right? You're not talking about, yeah, wow.
I think that it's the southernmost, southeasternmost part of Russia at the Caucasus, which directly borders Azerbaijan, which is a Muslim-ish country.
Powerful.
Um,
Islam is strong. See, it spreads terror wherever it goes, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it.
Yeah, Dagestan has an 80 something percent, 83% Muslim population, is Islamic, very, very much. Gunmen kill 9 in attack on synagogue. There are conflicting numbers right now, but 6 and one says 9. Synagogue attack and church attack, synagogue and Orthodox Church. Some officials have, without evidence, once again blamed it on Ukraine and NATO, which is, of course, very, very stupid. ISIS took responsibility directly. So that's that.
White Lily says, I made a video on how a man can take back his wife after divorce. It's an important one, in my opinion. Yeah, Muhammad's ruling about you can't go back. You can't get your wife back until the new guy tastes her sweetness and she tastes his sweetness. And the problem this caused, that's a core issue in the famous hadith about a woman being beaten until her skin turned green. Was she saying she wanted to go back to her former husband because her new husband was impotent? But guess what? She's not allowed to go back to the other guy until she has sex with this one. And according to her, she can't because he's impotent. So she was stuck. She was stuck with a guy who beat her until her skin turned green and wasn't allowed to leave, go back to the other guy.
That's based.
Super based. Super based. Joy here says, if I was a betting man, I'd bet AP comes to Christ before the end of the year. But then again, betting is haram and I'm not a man. You can't get paid for that bet. Hey, what is this? Comment. You familiar with this? Did you guys catch the debate between Ami Kozak and Dave Smith, moderated by Candace Owens? Why do so many disconnect Islam from the conflict and make it a pure land grab conflict?
Because they're stupid. I saw a thumbnail of it where she apparently moderates the debate between the one guy who was on that video where she thinks that Israel, that there is discrimination in Israel because there's a Muslim quarter. That guy was having a debate with Dave Smith, who is a pro-Palestine, anti-Israel guy. I haven't watched it. I don't think I'm intending to watch it. It's probably severely annoying. I received an offer in the quite recent past to have a debate with Dave Smith on the conflict. And I said, maybe. I didn't say yes. I just said maybe. That's all I want to say about that.
Dave Smith. What kind of dumb name is that?
I don't know who that is. I don't even know who that is. I don't even know what he does. But
yeah, the problem is if you try to look up Dave Smith, there's going to be like 9,000 Dave Smiths popping up. You won't even know who you're debating. Maybe that's Dave Smith's plan. You can't prepare for him.
Alhamdulillah.
Powerful stuff. Yep. Not familiar with that. Not familiar with that. If the Kaaba was nuked, would Islam die with it?
No.
The Kaaba's been pretty messed up in the past. There was that Shia group that went in there and stole the black stone and stuff and kept it for a while, and then they gave it back in pieces. It's funny. Yeah. So I have thought if I were ruler of the West and jihadis wouldn't stop attacking, would I go and take the black stone and hold it ransom like those Shias did? Yes, I would. I would keep it. Followers of Christ YouTube channel said Andrew Tate came back to Jesus. You see, Andrew Tate is the Mahdi because he definitely isn't a top G. Maybe he's a Mike Winger fan. That totally makes sense. Yeah, I see this news about Andrew Tate doing this and that and so on. I would trust none of it because I don't trust the dude.
Buy it. I don't buy it.
I don't either. And it's a boy who cried wolf situation. You keep coming out, and all we ever get from you are lies. Then it's hard to take anything you say seriously, even if you happen to be serious at some point. So any news about, like, even if Tate said, I've actually come back to Christianity and I'm a Christian now, I would. I'm trying to think of any way I could take that seriously at all. No, I'd have to see some massive life changes in a dude over a significant amount of time before you start taking a compulsive liar and narcissist seriously in what he says.
I don't buy your sex trafficker.
We don't. Working on a video idea about the racism of Islam. I'm shocked how many people change their minds when I replace the word Jew with black, quoting Muhammad, yada, yada, in intersectionality. Yeah, there isn't a lot of consistency. A matter of fact, at the apologetics conference next month, me and AP are going to be making a related point, going back to a classic video. But we're making the point that if a Christian preacher were saying a bunch of just like direct Quran quotations, but you change Jews and Christians to Muslims, that everyone would instantly be ready to declare it evil. And yet, if the Muslim says it about Jews and Christians, suddenly it's perfectly acceptable. And who are you to judge? And you must be an Islamophobe. So anyway, I'm going to make that...
Man, I'm just looking at Candace Owens' YouTube page. Like, as soon as I search for Candace Owens, see what the things that she has posted over the last 2 weeks, it just makes me want to go on a whole campaign of just
a bunch of streams about
totally destroying her bit by bit.
You can't destroy her; she's too popular. And
which is why
she's growing. And she's growing in popularity among Groypers.
Which is why I'm thinking not making streams, but making a huge video destroying her.
Oh, and call it something like the complete annihilatory destruction of Candace Owens.
The completely absolute annihilatory refutational destruction, and I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
We got a good point here. Lloyd says Mike Winger is the type of guy to close fridge doors with his hip. You could totally imagine him doing that, right? Like, oh, I got to grab the groceries, right? He is also the type of guy to say, wow, I needed this, while out with his friends. This guy, Lloyd, whoever you are, you seem to like have complete understanding of the psychology of Mike Winger.
Lloyd is Mike Winger. That's why.
AP, pull up this passage. Sunan Ibn Majah, 1853. 1853. Sounds like a year, doesn't it? Way back in 1853.
Abdullah ibn Abu Awfa said, when Muad bin Jabal came from Shem, he prostrated to the Prophet, who said, "What is this, O Muad?" He said, "I went to Shem and saw them prostrating to their bishops and patricians, and I wanted to do that for you." The Messenger of Allah said, "Do not do that. If I were to command anyone to prostrate to anyone other than Allah, I would have commanded women to prostrate to their husbands. By the one in whose hand is the soul of Muhammad, no woman can fulfill her duty toward Allah until she fulfills her duty toward her husband. If he asks her for intimacy, even if she is on her camel saddle, she should not refuse." Yeah, that's what it says.
Powerful. Muhammad said lots of powerful things.
Powerful things, yeah.
AP is lying when he says he wants ADF. He clearly wants NSDAP because the leader had a good book, or at least AP told us he enjoyed it. Also my jizya.
Alhamdulillah.
You understand?
Yeah.
No way they got Mike Winger to be in this episode. That is a pretty rude comment from that episode. Mike Winger was in the Boom Boom Room. That would be one of the rare times I'd be rooting for Muhammad.
Wasn't that Mike Winger who played you in the episode that we just watched?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No. I do not work with Mike Winger. Were you able to report the vile threats? I count them as such. that Muhammad Hijab posted. Also, do you think the reason Islam creates vile culture is due to the lack of 10 commandments in Islam?
Yes.
What vile threats? Do you know what this is about?
No.
Yeah, we're not sure what vile threats. Like when Ali Dawa says, I was going to kill you when we get the power that's going to be eating the popcorn. You could regard that as something reportable or something like that. I've never reported. I'm trying to think if I've ever reported anything for. I don't think I've ever reported anyone for anything. I was about to one time. There was a copyright thing on behalf of someone else, but no.
Muslim apologists wouldn't do vile threats. I think this is a bit of an accusation, and an unjust one at that. They would not ever threaten anybody. They have a way of keeping it all professional and honest and academic and all that. Yeah.
Oh, no, I correct myself. I did report someone once for doxing.
Nice.
That was on behalf. That's what was on behalf of someone else. So I did report someone. Were you able to report the vile threats? Yeah, hijab, sadly, is careful in that if he's threatening someone, he'll add some words there. He'll add words to it so that if he's accused, what? I wasn't saying that. So he'll always add words to be on the safe side of the law in case someone calls him out. Do you think the reason Islam creates vile culture is due to the lack of the 10 Commandments? No, it's everything else it's calling other people the worst of creatures and you're the best of peoples and promoting child marriage and all these other things.
But also the lack of 10 Commandments.
Yeah, it's overall, it's this main idea of we're just the best of people and everyone is supposed to be handing us money and serving us. So we're supposed to sit here and people are supposed to be bringing us money and handing us stuff so we get to live the life and stuff because that's how we're supposed to be living in Jannah and so on. And until we get our way, we're going to go around slaughtering everyone. Okay, well, it's kind of a recipe for a messed up culture.
So what you're saying is that the role of the lack of the 10 Commandments also is important here.
Yeah.
See.
By the way, guys, these are all connected. So the point in that the point in the episode of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room that we just watched is Muhammad is just taking everyone else from history and just saying, "Oh, I'm going to make him serve me. Oh, I'm going to make that guy serve me. Oh, I'm going to make that guy mine. Oh, I'm going to make this guy do what I want." That's what he's doing with historical figures. Keep in mind, this guy is a caravan robber. He's a caravan robber. He's a guy who just goes out and takes what other people have for himself. If I want something, I'm just going to go take it. What am I supposed to sit back and just work my entire life to get the things that I want? No, I'll go to people who have them and I'll just take them from them. So that's the mentality. He has the mentality of a caravan robber. He imprints that on his entire religion so that what's he doing? He's just, oh, I want that guy. Oh, that guy's famous. I'll take him. Ooh, Alexander the Great. Let's make him a Muslim, even though he's as pagan as anyone can possibly be. That's what he's doing. And then what else? Oh, the Kaaba, that's mine. I want that. Other people's, but I'll say it's mine. And then what happens? Oh, we have to take the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. We have to take Hagia Sophia. We have to take over the entire world. It's the exact same mentality. We get down to the present, and here we are with a bunch of Ali Dawas and Muhammad Hijabs and all these guys thinking that they're going to go out and take over the world, and we're all just going to be handing them money and stuff as they eat popcorn while watching their enemies be executed. And anyway, it's sick stuff.
That's about the most Islamophobic thing I've ever heard. Yeah.
All right, watch this. Smiles to Jenna made videos criticizing Hindus, not calling out Jews slaughtering cows being part of their religion, and criticizing a Jewish woman deleting a Palestinian child with water. Your reactions? I have no idea what you're talking about, so I wouldn't do reactions based on a comment.
Nope, no idea.
Yeah, we have to be familiar with something to kind of comment. Who's this Mike Winger guy? I should probably check out some of his videos. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I would always suggest watching Mike Winger videos.
Ugh. Yeah, and learn and just do the opposite of whatever he says. David is from God. You see, time for AP next.
Alhamdulillah.
Good point. While we must fight Muslim anti-Jewish hate, there's rising anti-Jewish hate among some Christians. We'll never defeat Islam if we don't patrol our own. We do patrol our own. At the end of the day, though, you can't stop someone from being a racist scumbag. Like, what do you do? Someone wants to be, if someone says, oh, you know what I want to do with my life? I want to follow Nick Fuentes. You can make fun of Nick Fuentes. You can expose him for being a lying piece of garbage. At the end of the day, if someone says, you know what, of all the things I want to do in my life, I want to follow this guy. You kind of can't stop him. What? Oh, hey, here we go.
You're stupid enough to do that anyway. I don't get it.
Hey, Nick Fuentes, Boom Boom Room. Who do we get to play him? You need some like little young dork. Hey.
Yeah, hello, Mohammed. I want to talk to you about race. Yeah.
That might be a situation where you get like an old Pee Wee Herman doll and just change the hair and put a little stupid mustache on him and have that. Or I don't know what it would cost, but we could pay Dylan Mulvaney to not be dressed up, but instead to dress up like Nick Fuentes, which would just mean wearing a suit and having a little fake mustache. Dylan Mulvaney plays Nick Fuentes in the Boom Boom Room. That would be classic.
We could use the same thing, the same person, whoever plays Nick Fuentes, also to play Jeffrey Dahmer, and could also make a, like, while we're at it, we could make a Jeffrey Dahmer meets Muhammad episode. Yeah.
Ooh.
Because they are basically the same. Yeah.
I'm just wondering how the Dahmer episode's gonna end with like a leg. He's got a leg of Muhammad. But Muhammad, so Jeffrey Dahmer is going to eat Muhammad's leg at the end. But Muhammad knew which part Jeffrey Dahmer liked, so he poisons it like the woman did to him. I don't know. I don't know. That's the brainstorming phase right there. But you're right. Someone who could play Nick Fuentes could also play Jeffrey Dahmer. So he's going to knock
they
out.
look the same.
Yeah. Why would Muslims believe that the Bible has been corrupted if it's been debunking the words of Muhammad since the first day he was spewing nonsense? Well, his followers didn't know what was in the Bible.
Yeah, they had no idea.
Yeah. His Arab followers, they didn't know what's in there. They're sitting there believing what Muhammad says is in the Bible. And, oh, he knows he's the prophet. And then later on, when nothing lines up, instead of concluding, oh, he didn't know what he was talking about, it's been corrupted.
Most of his followers today still don't know what's in the Bible, but back then they especially didn't know anything. So that's that.
Jordan Peterson should be next. Oh, Boom Boom Room? Yeah, see, the difficult part is, again, we need people who can play certain parts. Like there are certain parts that I can play. There are certain parts that vocab can play. There are certain parts that AP can play. When I think, oh, we want Jeffrey Dahmer, or we want Jordan Peterson, I think, who do I know that could play that? I guess I could. I have to like lose like 45 pounds, be really skinny.
Maybe we could convince Nick Fuentes to come in and just play Jeffrey Dahmer, and then also play himself.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that because anything. Because I'll just say that Jeffrey Dahmer was a conspiracy by the Jews.
And Jewish psyop. Although he was white and he looked like me, and we also have one thing in common, which is why I respect Jeffrey Dahmer a little bit. We both like boys, and but yeah, aside from that, sure, yeah, I would do my best. Yeah.
Hey, Jake Shields for the Boom Boom Room. That'd be good. That'd be one of the few people who's actually dumber than Muhammad. And he could just be misunderstanding everything Muhammad's saying and getting, oh, but I'll fight you then, Muhammad. I'll fight you. You'll fight me. I'll fight you. I'll challenge you to the octagon. Jeez. No, what would they fight about? These guys are in the same ballpark as far as hating Jews.
You are right. He is probably dumber than Muhammad.
Next, Muhammad and his wives meet Dr. Phil. That would be actually on stage with Muhammad's wives. Not Dr. Phil, though. You'd have to make that like Jerry Springer. Oh, we should have like a Jerry Springer. Remember Jerry Springer?
Yes. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. A Jerry Springer type episode where it's Muhammad's wives and all the drama. Can you imagine doing like a whole like show on set that's like an hour long interview with the wives of Muhammad and it's all this drama coming out and then flipping out on him?
That'd be good.
We got to do it.
Inshallah, soon.
You should do Muhammad meets Sneeko. It's funny. Sneeko, if he just wanted attention one day, he might agree to just do it. I mean, he already knows if they complain afterwards, he's just going to, what? I'm a new Muslim. I didn't know any better. And they'll go, oh, okay, that's fine, Sneeko. That's fine.
I didn't know this is not appropriate. I didn't know this is not this is haram. I have no idea. I didn't know this.
Check Tate's post about dogs. Mo would be mad. He's posted about dogs for a long time, and it was always in conflict with the Muslim sources. Would Hood have walked out of the lobby at the end? Oh, I should have walked out of the lobby at the end. No, it's fine.
No.
People know I'm here. People know I'm still here. All right, we got more super chats, but let's go ahead and check out.
I don't know. I feel like people could be deceived by like when they see the video, they could think that you're actually dead. So you have to probably clarify that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys. Yeah, this isn't real. It's not. I mean, it's really Muhammad. We actually brought Muhammad through a time portal to appear in this show.
Wow.
But no one's actually harmed in the filming of these videos except Muhammad by exposing him as an obvious false prophet.
See, there you go.
But here we have a classic. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think through every episode. This is definitely top 3. It may be my favorite episode, but it's AP as Sigmund Freud sitting down for an interview with Prophet Muhammad. AP, this is the highlight of your entire life. You have never done anything this cool, and you never will again. Beat no.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, where all of my guests either agree with me completely or they go boom. I am your host, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon me. And with me now is an Austrian psychologist, neurologist, and an avid snorter of cocaine, Dr. Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, so happy you could join me. Would you care for a snack?
No, thank you, Muhammad. Don't go to any trouble.
No trouble at all. When you have as many slaves as I do, you can have unlimited sex. Snacks. I mean snacks. What are you writing about me? Why are you showing me that? As everyone knows, I can't read. So anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the doctor of the mind, so to speak. I'm known as the father of psychoanalysis.
At least psychoanalysis as a father.
I had to pause it there. Vocab, when we were just in Europe, Vocab was telling someone, he was saying that one of the lines from here was his favorite line from the Boom. I think it may have been that one or maybe one of the different ones, but that's definitely one of my favorite lines. I'm the father of psychoanalysis. At least psychoanalysis had a father.
That's messed up.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
At least psychoanalysis had a father. Isn't that's funny though, because you always wait for some clue to pop up about someone's messed up relationship with father or mother in one of these discussions, and he just mentions the word father.
That's pretty good.
You know what I think? I mean, this was a long time ago. So I wrote this one. That particular line, that sounds like a vocab line. It sounds like something that vocab would have blurted out when we're editing the script. But I think I don't remember this, but it seems connected in my mind. But that Always Sunny episode where the gang gets the gang gets analyzed. And then Frank goes in there and he starts talking. You'll never get inside this mine. This mine is Fort Knox. Blah, 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 blah. And she goes, why don't you trust psychiatrists? And then that's all she says. And he just unloads. He starts flipping out more and more. But that idea, like, it was something about that idea of a guy's just going to like unload with his psychological problems, like, and make it obvious right at the beginning, as soon as he starts talking. So I think that was in my mind when going through this. But anyway, all right. So now we have Muhammad being psychoanalyzed by Sigmund Freud once he finds out that there's a father issue.
So, my biological father, Abdullah, died months, or possibly even years, before I was born.
And how did that make you feel?
I didn't feel anything. I was still just a blood clot.
Interesting.
I forgot about that.
After I was born, my mother, Amina, sent me to live with a family of total strangers in the desert.
It must have been difficult for you being separated from your mother. Did this cause...
Someone's asking, is Freud played by AP? Yes, that's AP.
No, it's not me.
That's AP with some, what was that? We got this gray hair wax or something like this that, got some gray hair wax. We put that on there and then some.
That took a significantly long time to do all of that, to put that all in my hair and get it all right.
Yeah.
That was difficult.
It worked out really well though. It worked out really well. I have to say that's kind of people always ask, hey, why don't you put out more Boom Boom Rooms? Guys, it's a lot of work. I mean, AP's talking about the work of just like getting into a costume, but I mean the process of making an episode of the Boom Boom Room is, one, you got to do the writing. So you have to figure out what point you're going to make, who's going to be in it. So who's Muhammad interviewing? And then who's going to play that character? And then are you going to need props, costumes, things like that? So it's like we had Muhammad meets Darth Vader. I got a Darth Vader costume and so on. Other times we would get, is it something we're going to need a makeup artist for? So when I played the Joker, we actually got a makeup artist. When I played Andrew Tate, was actually a professional makeup artist to make me bald and so on. So anyway, you got to figure out all that stuff. And then we live in completely different areas. So there's the traveling. Usually I fly out to where vocab is, but that can always change. And so then there's the plane tickets and hotel rooms sometimes, depending on what's going on. And then the actual, like, getting into costume, doing all the recording. And then afterwards, I'm sitting there with these SD cards of, if it's a 12-minute video, and so Muhammad has like, 6 or 7 minutes of lines, that will be like a 40 to 60 minute video, because we'll keep messing up. We'll try lines in a bunch of different ways and so on. So do it like this, try it like that, and so on. And so then you're sitting there with these hours of footage and stuff like that you have to kind of go through and pick the best way each line was spoken and combine them together and stuff like that. And anyway, the point is, in my mind, for every step of that process, I could just make a video. I could just go into my room and make a video, and it would be like 1,000 times quicker and massively less expensive and so on. So anyway, that's why it's a ton of work to make an episode of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. It's a very, very long process. And some of it's funny because some of the times we're recording in completely different areas. Like AP here, we recorded that at Vocab's old place. Then I think Vocab's Yeah, Vocab's lines were after he moved. So we recorded them in completely different places. And that happens frequently. Where, like for Hatoon's episode, she was going to be in California. So I fly to California, record her there, but I'm recording Vocab in a completely different state and stuff, and then combine it. That was the idea behind just having a black backdrop, is I could kind of bring that up. I could bring that anywhere, fold it up, have a black backdrop, stick it on the wall, and make it look like there's some consistency. Oh, wait. Hang on. There's a comment here. Got to go through these. Go through this couple real quick. Gotta do Muhammad meets Joseph Smith. God bless y'all. Yeah. Apart from Muhammad meets Alexander the Great, which I've already recorded, just haven't edited it. Joseph Smith is probably the most common request of all time. Can we get Candace on the Boom Boom Room? Dude, what if... I don't know if he'd do it. No, he'd probably do it. What if we had John McCrae playing Candace Owens? Just put a little wig on McCrae and he plays Candace. That'd be funny. I don't know why, but guys playing ladies and ladies playing guys in skits. I don't know. It's always cracked me up.
That's funny.
And here's the one I wanted to get to. Muhammad would definitely pull an R. Kelly. Yeah. And that's one of the ones we've already recorded. I already have John McCrae as R. Kelly. So, yeah, and I guess that's a reference to me mentioning earlier how this kind of spun off of Muhammad having a discussion or being interviewed by the BBC and compared with R. Kelly and so on, which ultimately led to us recording an episode of the Boom Boom Room. Never mind, my first suggestion wasn't as good. Hitler for Boom Boom Room next. Well, I have to say, I already know who's coming next because I've already recorded them. But I mean, like, after that. And so, yeah, some of the ones we're getting are some of the all-time requests. I think I could pull off Joseph Smith. I'd have to shave AP as the guy with the little mustache.
I would be happy, be proud to do that.
Yep. We could do them. All right, back to AP here, psychoanalyzing Prophet Mo.
The resentment.
I was a baby. I didn't know any better.
Interesting.
Wait, what was that line? He said, did this lead to resentment? He says I was a baby.
Cause any resentment.
Born, my mother, Emina, sent me to live with a family of total strangers in the desert.
It must have been difficult for you being separated from your mother. Did this cause any resentment?
I was a baby. I didn't know any better.
Interesting.
Until I was 4 years old, my desert family was the only family I knew. But then they decided to get rid of me.
And why did they want to get rid of you?
Well, they concluded that I was demon-possessed after 2 men split me open and washed my heart and the rest of my body.
What are you saying?
I forgot that I actually mixed German words into it. Right? Instead of and, I say und.
When's the last time you saw this? Because I don't remember most of this.
I think I never actually watched the whole thing. But
Well, that's pretty dirtbaggish of you.
no, it's because I don't like to watch myself. That's the thing.
Wow, you're crushing it here.
But I think it was a long time ago when you published it. This first, I don't know when that was.
So everyone knows, AP was actually snorting. just to get it. He said he had to do it to get into character. But
Sure. Yeah.
So they sent me back to my mother.
And how did it feel being torn away from the only family you ever knew?
How would I know? I was only 4 years old. 2 years younger than Aisha when I married her. Kids are stupid. But I do remember how happy I was spending time with my mother.
Tell me more about your relationship with your mother.
There's nothing to tell. She died.
She died?
Yes, she died when I was 6 years old. The same age Aisha was when I married her.
That must have been so difficult for you.
Well, by this time I was learning that everyone leaves me. Everyone leaves little Mo. So I was getting used to it. That's when I was sent to live with my grandfather, Abdul Muttalib. Even my biological father, who died months or years before I was born, had a father. Why does everyone have a father except for me?
We should have added
Tell
some
me
sad
about-
music.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. We could always do like re-edits or something like that,
Yeah.
expanded versions and so on. Some of these so this is a situation where I wrote the episode, but I can kind of spot vocab's lines, even though I don't remember it. I can just tell because it's different processes. Because sometimes vocab will write an episode, sometimes I'll write an episode. So different people write the episodes or something like that. But then we'll sit down and do the read through. And vocab's great at I'm just reading through the content I'm making. Vocab would just be blurting things out. But yeah, if a situation where I say, "Oh, I was 6 years old" or something like that, I know vocab would be like, "Oh, the same age as Aisha, the same age as Aisha." So
About your
That's good.
grandfather.
I can't. He died. Muttalib. Even my biological father, who died months or years before I was born, had a father. Why does everyone have a father except for me?
Tell me about your grandfather.
I can't. He died.
Ist auch too. He died too?
yes, auch tot.
Yes, he died when I was 8 years old. 2 years older than Aisha was when I married her.
Mohammed, are you telling me that every close relationship you had for the first 8 years of your life ended in death or abandonment?
Peace be upon me. My uncle, he tried to take care of me after that. He basically made sure that I didn't starve to death.
And how has all of this affected you?
Well, you know what they say? Whatever doesn't kill you gives you the sexual strength of 30 men.
Mohammed, have you
Nice line. Speaking of lines, I remember how we were cracking up and we had to pause whenever we did the
Coke.
the Coke thing. Whenever I take another line,
That's
Yeah.
that would be another
to
fun
pause.
thing. That would be another fun thing to do one day. It's just because I have the raw footage. I have all the SD cards with all the raw footage, but it's probably like 40 minutes of us recording your lines here. So
yeah.
that would be funny just watching us crack up over stuff. And Robert says, "This is the one that made me feel bad for Mo." And we have That's Wild Lol. And yeah, guys, it's actually, this is why I said I like this episode. It's making a very serious point about Muhammad's psychological issues. This guy lost every close relationship with a father figure or mother figure that he had by the time he was 8. And this leads to certain issues. It leads to certain issues. And one of them is you're gonna be like super clingy and have massive like attachment problems and so on. And what does Muhammad do? If you abandon me, I'm gonna kill you and so on. And just taking it's I don't know, it's wild stuff. But I mean think about how I don't even remember what's in this video, but I'm assuming we're gonna be pointing out like who's Muhammad's first wife? Well, someone who would have been about the same age as his mom and so on. And so
Yeah. I think that was one of the points. That's the thing. This episode is actually generally quite sad, but it's also hilarious. So,
and I've heard that before. I've heard that when I made my videos, The Psychology of Islam, and I'm talking about Muhammad's background and so on. I got responses from people saying you're actually making me like really sympathetic towards Muhammad and how messed up he was. That a lot of it wasn't his fault. Interesting.
I have been thinking that for quite a while. That much of that I lean less toward the idea that he was just a completely sick, evil person who deliberately made things up as he went. I lean more toward the idea that he just really, really suffered from mental conditions in one way or the other that resulted in him doing a lot of the things that he did.
Yeah. And that's my view. You take a guy who's it's a completely different example, but it's like Sneeko, right? Like, I don't view Sneeko as like, even if he's doing messed up stuff, compared to some other person where you look at the guy and you're thinking, this guy's just evil. Sneeko doesn't come across as like evil. He's a young guy who got really, really popular and really wealthy at a very young age and started doing things that this allowed him to do. And now he's just being like used by various people who want to take advantage of his following and so on. But it's like that. It's like, you're a guy who just got a lot of influence at a very young age before you could process everything really well. But similar with Muhammad, even though he's older by the time he gets power, it's, you got a guy who's like psychologically traumatized as a young person and then lives through that and all of a sudden gets the power of a Muslim army around him. What's he going to do? And he has the power of revelations on his side now, and he can say everything. And hey, I got a revelation, and people just automatically go along with it and so on. That's a recipe for problems. Taking a guy who has psychological problems and then giving him a ton of power. You're going to end up with a massively dysfunctional community. Look around.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Ever heard of the unconscious?
Isn't that what happens to my wives when I beat them?
That's a vocab line. That's a vocab line. Have you heard of the unconscious?
To death.
And how has all of this affected you?
Well, you know what they say. Whatever doesn't kill you gives you the sexual strength of 30 men.
Muhammad, have you ever heard of the unconscious?
Isn't that what happens to my wives when I beat them?
Probably. But when I refer to the unconscious, I mean what some people call the subconscious. Human beings repress certain memories and experiences and feelings. We may not be aware of them at the conscious level, but they are still active in our minds.
Sounds like pagan philosophy.
Muhammad, all of the loss you experienced as a child has affected you very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the most
Wait. Does this plot include me revealing at some point that I'm Jewish? I think
That's got to be, I don't remember, but that's got to be why he kills you at the end, right?
I think so. I'm trying to remember. This was a long time ago, but I think that's something that happens.
I'm saying I don't remember because there's like 3 or 4 episodes where that's what sets a dude off that's what sets him off at the end. Like, oh, I could agree with you on it. Like with Jeffrey Epstein, it's I could be totally fine with all the people you molested and stuff, but you're Jewish, so yeah, we'll find out. It's funny, we don't actually remember.
research, we know how these experiences tend to affect people. Based on the loss of your father and every father figure you had in your very early years, we can predict that you will be hostile to father figures, that you will rebel against authority and tradition, and that you will always have trouble forming normal, healthy relationships with other people.
By the way, guys, that's all straight out of Paul Vitz's book, The Faith of the Fatherless. Everything Muhammad just said right there about the impact of losing all your close relationships as a child, he just went through them. You're going to rebel against tradition and authority. You're going to have a problem with father figures. You're going to have a problem forming healthy emotional attachments with other people. And you look, and my goodness, Muhammad is like the supreme example of all of these things. Hoping you point this out. I'm hoping you point this out here, AP.
Based on the loss of your mother and every mother figure you had in your early years, we can predict that you will spend a great deal of your life searching for a mother figure, and that you will simultaneously strive to maintain complete control over women.
Nonsense! Why would the great God Allah choose me as his last and greatest prophet if I've been psychologically bottom and thighs? lobotomized, traumatized.
Tell me about this Allah.
The great God Allah is the almighty creator of the universe, most gracious, most merciful. He's the same God preached by Jews and Christians.
Really? Jews and Christians believe that God is their heavenly Father. Do you believe that God is your heavenly Father?
No! The great God Allah is a father to no one. Allah is the master, and we are all slaves. The only relationship any of us can have with the great God Allah is a slave to master relationship.
Problem with father figures? Check.
What? I don't have a problem with father figures. I even adopted a son named Zaid.
And how did that relationship turn out?
Well, I eventually married my adopted son's ex-wife after I caused the divorce by lusting after her. Then the great God Allah abolished adoption in Islam in order to justify my marriage to my adopted son's ex-wife. And I sent Zayd into a battle where Muslims were outnumbered 65 to 1, and Zayd was slaughtered.
Difficulty forming normal relationships. Check.
What? What could be more normal than marrying the divorced wife of my own adopted son, abolishing adoption in order to justify the marriage, and sending my former adopted son to his certain death?
Tell me, Muhammad, how did you get along with the men and women of your tribe? Did you fit in well?
Not really. After declaring that I was Allah's final prophet, I ordered them to submit to me. When they wouldn't submit to me, I raised an army and conquered them.
You conquered your own city and your own tribe?
Peace be upon me.
Rebellion against authority and tradition. Check.
I don't like where you're going with this.
Then let's take things in a slightly different direction. How old was your mother when you were born?
She was around 15 years old.
And how old was your first wife?
She was 15 years older than me.
So you married a woman who was the same age your mother would have been if she hadn't died?
Peace be upon me.
After you married her, what would you do if you were frightened?
I would run home to my wife Khadija, and I would tell her to cover me, to protect me.
Muhammad, I'm going to be very frank with you. We have to take steps to ensure that you never gain political or religious power over other people. If you ever gain power over a significant number of people, you are going to imprint your psychological trauma onto a larger population. If people ever take you as a pattern of conduct or a model of perfection, the entire community will develop a problem with father figures, especially with viewing God as a heavenly father. The community will rebel against any tradition and authority that doesn't come directly from you. The community won't be able to integrate with other communities and will instead strive to subjugate the entire world to your teachings, since they view God as a cosmic slave master rather than as a heavenly father. They will think that they need to earn God's love, and many of them will try to do this by killing others. The community will also become obsessed with controlling women. And all of this will be the result of your repressed feelings and experiences working their way into your teachings and behavior. So, no matter what else happens, we need to make sure that you never attain political or religious power over others.
What are you babbling about? I already have 1.6 billion followers, and we will continue spreading ourselves all over the world.
Oh my goodness. This is bad, man. This is really, really bad.
Stop trying to control me. You're acting like you're better than me, like you know more than me. You're acting like a Jew.
I am a Jew.
Wait. You're a Jew?
Muhammad, did the Jews ever reject you as a prophet? If they did, then given your early experiences with rejection, I can explain to you why you are so hostile towards Jews, and why you probably blame them for anything bad that happens to your community.
Now you're defending the Jews? It's true, the Jews have caused us many setbacks, but those setbacks are nothing compared to our successes. Successes!
Muhammad, your relationships with other people are massively dysfunctional for a reason. But I can help you through psychoanalysis.
And I can help you through Allahu Akbar!
Classic. Sick beat, though. Sick beat.
No.
Why is there 30 seconds left? What did I put on the end here? Means I put something here. Shout out to this episode's sponsors. Oh, what are these comments? If you're a Muslim, you know where these cross worshippers live. There's no sin on you to deal with him. His name is Vocab Malone. Where do you live? Muslims who live in America should find these two and deal with them.
Stay away from Islam.
Oh boy, that's funny. Oh, classic stuff.
That's good stuff.
That's good
man.
stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, not the worst thing I've seen in my life. Yeah. Wow.
Gosh, I
pretty
wish
good.
Vocab lived up the street from me, because then like we just could make one any random day. You know what I mean? Like, hey, just got an idea for an episode of the Boom Boom Room. All right, let's script it out and record it. That's what we do.
That was pretty good, man. I
That
didn't
was
remember that
good
at
stuff.
all. Yeah.
That's powerful stuff. That's good stuff to share.
It's not too bad. Not the worst thing. Yeah.
It's probably one of the best all-around YouTube videos ever. It's got
Yeah, not the
Sigmund
worst thing
Freud.
I've seen.
It's got Muhammad. It's got drama, death, trauma, powerful story, awesome psychological information. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Mo meets
But
death.
I didn't see much gore or anything in that, so that's just the one downside.
Mo meets death, and it's filmed like The Seventh Seal. Have not seen The Seventh Seal. Sounds like something AP's watched like 12 times. I heard Mike Winger went into a Starbucks and ordered a coffee. And when the server asked if he wanted it grande, venti, or trenta, Winger, being confused, asked if they could give him it in Greek.
The Seventh Seal is a 1957 movie
Ooh.
that is drama, horror, fantasy. What?
The
A
Seventh
knight
Seal.
returning to Sweden after the Crusade seeks answers about life, death, and the existence of. Interesting. I think I'm going to put this on my list.
Oh, yeah. I've seen images from that before. I would like recording something like black and white, old school like that. That'd be cool.
That'll be beast.
That would be super bass. Let's see. Mike Roch Winger said Mike Winger's Star Trek room is greater than Mo's Boom Boom room. That'll be funny. Mike Winger's. Welcome to the Star Trek room, where we discuss theology in the context of various episodes of Star Trek, the greatest show of all time. And right now, we're going to be talking about Jerry Ryan coming into season 4 of Star Trek Voyager, and how Kate Mulgrew, who played Captain Catherine Janeway, was upset because she regarded the character 7 of 9 as too attractive and thought this was demeaning to the show. I mean, she thought it was a sign that we couldn't keep powerful plots to keep the audience growing. We needed a hot 7 of 9 with her big boobs in everybody's face. And so this brings us to a passage in 1 Corinthians that I want to be the lesson of today. Anyway, that'd be Mike Winger's version of the show. There's only two people who could stop Muhammad from blowing up the Boom Boom Room, Vlad the Impaler and Vlad the Impaler. I have got that request before.
That sounds like a very good idea as well.
Yeah, Vlad the Impaler. And that Jewish woman who poisoned him. Yeah, I want Hatun to eventually play the Jewish woman. However, we are also recording, that's not the Boom Boom Room, but we're also recording next month in Ohio. By the way, anyone who's traveling distance wants to come to the Apologetics Conference, you can. But we're getting there a little early, and we're recording with vocab in full Boom Boom Room gear. It's right after the Battle of Khaybar, when Muhammad and his followers sit down for a meal prepared by the Jewish woman whose family they had just slaughtered. One of the most based moves ever. I'll let you decide who I'm talking about being based in that whole situation. But we're going to actually record that whole scene. So,
one of the smartest thing the Muslim army did then was that.
David is a secret wingerling. No, the opposite. I'm the ultimate nemesis of all wingerlings everywhere. Paolo says, Israel is about to invade Lebanon. Hez is stockpiling at the Lebanon airport. Currently chaos at the airport. Yeah, I know things have been escalating with Hezbollah. You think they're actually going to invade, AP? You're the expert here.
I'm not. The thing with Hezbollah is that they are very much known for bluffing a lot and for saying a lot without
talking loud.
Ever
talking loud ain't
doing
saying
anything.
nothing.
Nasrallah, the leader, he's known for saying, "Oh, we will do this and we will do that and we will destroy and we are about to do this and that," and they never do anything aside from pathetically firing rockets, which they have been doing for half a year now into Israel. But yeah, recently they did just a few days ago, they made a clear threat by posting a video of drone footage of Haifa airport in Israel and saying, we are very close. We will strike you from the sea and the land and the air. And Israel then said, you know what? Enough is enough. We warned you for so long. Back off now, or we will invade. So, and Hezbollah responded to that with saying, we will go to war and we will destroy you, and this will be a war with no rules, and you will be completely humiliated and annihilated. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, Israel's never heard that one before.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. You want to hope that there is no that this is not going to lead to a major war, to a regional war. But on the one hand, you have the Hamas operation ongoing. On the other hand, you have Hezbollah aggressively firing at Israel for so long now, despite being told stop, or things will get worse. And they just want to make it worse. But the thing is, this is also what Iran basically wants. They want to cause a larger conflict. They want to drag the region into a war. And Israel wants to avoid it, but how long can you avoid it when you're being constantly attacked?
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So, not sure what's going to happen there. I also think Hezbollah likes to run its mouth more than it likes to actually try doing something. But seems like there will be some level of escalation. As far as invasions and stuff, yeah, we'll have to see.
The thing is, I mean, they made a very clear threat and said this will be a war with no rules, meaning we don't care about international law. We will just do whatever we want because we are a lawless terrorist bunch.
Don't
That's
complain
basically-
later. Don't complain later when they're not playing by the rules. No,
That's basically what Hezbollah said. But we know very well that when this war starts, if this war starts,
they're
and they
breaking
will
the
be in there being
rules.
crushed, they will go like, "Where are the human rights? Where's the international law?
Where's the
What is happening?
LGBTQ
Please,
community? Where's queers for
please
Palestine?
help.
Where's queers for
Please,
Hezbollah?
United Nations, please." That's what they're gonna
Yep,
do. Yeah, I was thinking,
that's what they do.
Since we had a cigar there for Sigmund Freud, we should have also used the opportunity to make an episode about Bill Clinton. But yeah,
You're gross, man. You're a sick dude. How do I even do shows with you, man? Renee Fuentes, you better not be related to Nick, Renee. Renee Fuentes says, when's the conference? That is July 12th, 13th, and 14th. July 12th, 13th, and 14th. Free Apologetics Conference. If any of you jihadis are thinking, oh, that'd be a great place to go and take down the Dizzle, it's in Ohio. There's like 700 people with guns at that conference, so just keep that in mind.
Yep.
It's not going to go. It's not going to go the way you think. So don't even think about that. You want to attack me? Catch me on the street somewhere. It'll go better for you. But you're going to lose that one too. So bring an army.
Yeah.
If you ever want to find me on the street,
I will be heavily armed too, by the way.
bring an army, and you will get embarrassed anyway.
Yes.
But you don't want to mess around with a bunch of Ohio hunters when they all carry firearms at all times.
Yes.
Mike Winger. Yes, this is indeed based, Mr. Wood. Yeah, it does sound like Mike Winger. Over 1,300 dead over in Saudi Arabia from the Hajj. Yeah, I saw that. That was the latest tally. Was over 1,300 people dead from the Hajj. And it's just amazing. I can sit here and say, guys, there are steps you can take to avoid dying of heat in the Hajj. Multiple steps. No one will listen to me. And they'll just instead choose death. That's why.
There is a silver lining to all of this, which is that the people who are dying over there during Hajj would probably not feel sad about dying during the Hajj.
Little side note, everyone. If you're ever, this is just in general, if you're ever in 110 degree weather or something like that, that's where you have heat stroke. That happens because your brain overheats and then has problems. Your goal is to keep your brain from overheating. Keep something on your head. Fortunately, the pilgrims are good at that. Keep in mind, you can keep that thing wet. Keep some water on that thing. So you want to keep your head cool and neck because you got blood being carried up to your brain. Keep something cool. Keep something cool on that so it's cooling down your blood as it's going to your brain. Little known fact, if you're ever out in the middle of nowhere, take if you're wearing a shirt, your shirt is better off on your head to keep your head cool. If all else fails, you can pee on your shirt on your head, and it will actually help you avoid getting a heat stroke.
Well, the problem is that
You're in
during the
luck.
Hajj, especially when they're walking around doing all the things like going to that mount where the cave is supposedly, the people there will mostly have their heads uncovered, and will also not have a proper concept of drinking and water and hydrating themselves properly, and will unfortunately be basically asking for the consequences of excessive bodily heat.
That's what they do. Recently listened to Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus audiobook and enjoyed the accuracy of Nabil's D. Wood voice impersonation. Did he do my voice? I've never listened to that. Did he actually imitate me? That'd be messed up. Send me a clip of him imitating me. That would be funny.
What's more messed up is that you have never even listened to it.
Well, it'd be funny. Well, I'm trying to think because I don't. But like, how would he imitate me? Like, so then David says, "The Beatles." That would be kind of funny. Mike Winger, the type of dude to say beep beep when he squeezes past you. People are coming up with all these true, like, they fit Mike's personality perfectly, right? Like this guy's trying to get past beep 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 beep. Total nerd stuff. AP, stay away from canned ace. She will rot your brain.
I know.
No, AP is going to do the ultimate 5-hour complete destruction of canned ace.
Canned ace.
Spain is going to take care of Palestinian refugees. What do you think about? Will Spain? What did they say that? Spain say they're going to be taking some in?
I'm not sure if they officially said they're going to take them in, but they had a policy which entails that upon recognizing Palestine, it leads to them taking in refugees. I have to check that further out, but yeah, there was a whole warning around that, and there were some news that they are going to have to take in a bunch of refugees from Gaza, and good luck with that.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? You've got a population that's been raised on Farfour the Terror Mouse their entire youth, and you're like, hey, let's just bring them over here.
That's a good thing. Spain has been very stupidly irresponsible in this whole thing.
Well, I mean,
just deal with
the great irony there is, apart from Israel, Spain's like number 2 or 3 on their list as far as places that we once had. There's the application of the Quran verse, drive them out from whence they drove you out, which in context, in its historical context, is about Mecca. But you've had Muslim scholars over the centuries say, no, this applies to any area. If we are there and we get driven out of it, we have an obligation from Allah to eventually retake that land. Israel has just been the main focus because 1, it's Jews, and 2, it's kind of closest to home in the Middle East. But make no mistake. If they were to ever take Israel, Spain, you're gonna become an increasingly desirable target there. So the great irony there is you got Spain, which is on a list of places that have to be reconquered, and they're saying, hey, let's take these Palestinians who are obsessed with reconquering Israel, retaking Israel, let's bring them over here to Spain, which various groups also want to retake. That's smart. That's smart stuff right there.
Yeah, you know what Israel has some experience with from the past due to expulsions done to Lebanon. What they have experience with is that if you attempt to relocate lots of problematic people from the Palestinian territories who are known to side with and group with and participate in certain terrorist activities, these people might in the location of their eventual destination start engaging in such activities as well.
No way.
Israel in the past deported a bunch of people who were found to have engaged in terrorist activities to Lebanon, and what happened as a result is that those people started forming terrorist cells in Lebanon and exerting significant power in Lebanon. They also pushed a bunch of others into Jordan. They started attacking from Jordan and using it as a terrorist hub. If Spain and other countries start taking in refugees from populations that have a very great sense of loyalty toward their terrorist organizations, then Spain will also end up importing Hamas. And honestly, Hamas is not the worst thing they can import. They could import things like Islamic Jihad, which is even more ruthless, and other organizations. The thing is, there's just that Spain is being, in the dumbest way, ruled by socialist forces right now that actually crack down on Catholicism, that actually crack down on Christianity, while siding with or allowing Islamist garbage. And They are apparently unaware that ISIS officially declared that Spain needs to be taken back, definitely because it is Islamic land by the laws of Allah, and Hamas also as an organization has praised ISIS in the past and also has praised Osama bin Laden in the past. Of course, they fell out at some point because their interests got in conflict, which is why they are no longer allies officially of ISIS. But they are very much going the same path. They want the Hamas believes in re-establishing the caliphate one day in the future and retaking whatever was once Islamic. So yeah, the fantastic decision, Spain. Good job. Keep going.
Really awesome. Really awesome idea. What could possibly go wrong except for everything? But you do you, Spain. We'll just be the one saying, we told you so.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Did Allah on the as far as Spain being conquered and so on, it's another situation where I don't think it's going to happen. It's just people do things in these incredibly stupid ways that cause endless problems that they did not need to have. It was Thomas Sowell. This was back in the 1990s. He said that basically modern history is replacing things that work with things that sound good. I want to actually find the actual quotation so I can memorize it and then be ready to spit it. But yeah, our leaders and everyone else, this is a time of replacing things that work with things that sound good.
What a stupid idea. Like, oh, hey, remember our history of Spain, when we were pushed out of our own country and ruled over by these barbarians, and then we kicked them out and we conquered it all back. Yeah, how about let's invite all those people back in here? Yeah.
It'd be funny if they pull the same stunt as in Israel. Like, we were always there. You know, to be funny. If Spain brings in a bunch of Palestinian refugees and then the Palestinians like, this was always our land. We were always here. We were the originals. You guys came and conquered us off this land. We're here to take it back. That would be some funny stuff.
They think the people that they're going to allow in as refugees are eventually going to be thankful to them and assimilate and integrate. Why are people so stupid? Do you not learn? And this is one of the naiveties and weaknesses of Europeans and in European culture in general. They think
Europeans are weak.
Europeans are stupid. They think that everybody is just like them. That they're going to be like, oh yeah, well, you guys helped us. Well, that is very, very nice of you. How can I make it right? What can I do in return? No, that's not how other cultures act. That's how you act. Mm-hmm. Don't think other cultures are like that just because you are like that. They are not.
That is one of the. I mean, how many millions of people died because of that same stupid mistake, thinking, oh, here's how I am, therefore that's how people are. It's the exact same thing. And I say people dying, I mean, keep in mind when you had the Arab Spring and we're going to go and we're going to help take out these evil dictators, and then democracy and freedom are going to flourish there and stuff. And you think, why? Well, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted in the U.S. when we had it's before then, but we had that tyrant King George. We had that tyrant King George. We want to get rid of the tyrant. And then what's going to happen? Freedom and democracy. See, it worked for us. Why wouldn't it work over there? What's the assumption? That people are the same over there as they are here, yes. That their thinking is the same. And that if you just get rid of the tyrant, then freedom and democracy are going to flourish. What happened? Oh, we got rid of the tyrant. What'd you get? ISIS. Bunch of morons. And and they still don't learn their lesson. They'll do that. They will do that over 1,000 times and still will not learn their lesson. Stupid. Did Allah abolish adoption because of Ephesians 1:4-5? So that's us being adopted as sons through Jesus Christ. No, Muhammad didn't know anything about that. You could say in a spiritual sense that Islam is, keep in mind, we're talking about psychologically things that happen. But if you're thinking in terms of spiritual influences, yeah, you definitely want to keep people not thinking of God as Heavenly Father, not thinking of themselves as sons of God, thinking in terms of only being slaves and other bad slaves being worthless and so on. That's how you want people thinking. So it's a weird situation where you could say, hey, I can explain all of this just in terms of basic psychology, or I could explain this in terms of massive demonic influence. I say both.
Based.
Very based. Tate took a MAS Abdul Halim Quran to jail. Thoughts? Seems watered down, i.e. mentions Uthman compiling the Quran, but not burning copies. We just mentioned this in a live stream, didn't we? When people were asked?
Yeah.
Someone was asking about Qurans, and I pointed out that version of the Quran, to me, is the easiest to read.
Yeah.
With that said, yes, things are being watered down. So what I recommended, and I'll say the same thing here, AP can give his thoughts. My view is if you want to actually read the Quran from beginning to end for the sake of having read the entire Quran, you want a version that's easy to read, even if it happens to be one that's going to be watering some things down. If you want to learn specific passages and so on, then I would encourage you to just get multiple Quran versions. Have a Hilali Khan or a Sahih International here, have a Pickthall here, have a Yusuf Ali. Check out those passages. Any thoughts on this, AP?
Same.
No? Same thoughts. I guess great minds think alike.
Maybe. Or it's a miracle. Yeah.
Daniel Hakwikachu's satire equals the Meccan mosquito.
That's beautiful. Powerful stuff.
That would be his awesome show. Little younger, Daniel Pikachu unzips pants. Little younger. Yeah. Ali Dawa's wife in the Boom Boom Room. Dude, Ali Dawa's wife in the Boom Boom Room with a whiteboard. But Muhammad can't read. Right? Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
That wasn't the exact point here. It's having Ali Dawa as the translator. That would also be funny. But there would be something funny about Ali Dawa's wife with a whiteboard.
That would be good.
And Muhammad not being able to read it, and then him being jealous, and then maybe they have to outlaw education for girls in Afghanistan because they don't want the girls being smarter than Muhammad.
That's hilarious.
This is how we brainstorm, ladies and gentlemen. AP, Soviet-Afghan war jihadis funded and led by CIA, Russia. Jihadi attack are continuation of same politic from then. CIA now work with Ukraine.
I am crazy. I am crazy. I am crazy. I am crazy. I am crazy.
I am crazy. I am crazy.
Do you see these numbers? It says RSD 250. There is a connection there. You just sound
that's connected to this group right here. You put the C. We'll do C. And look, they've got the first letter in their name over here. And it puts it out. Where does it go to? Jews and CIA. CIA, Jews.
You just sound insane. You have there is one point here, which is yes, Soviet-Afghan war jihadis. Some of them were indeed funded by America. And they were openly funded by America because back then, America didn't think very far ahead. There was the Cold War, and they thought, okay, the Soviets want to take control of this place, which is very crucial. We can't have that, so we have to equip local forces, arm them, give them whatever they need to resist. That's what they thought. They did not very much take into account that these organizations would develop into major Islamist terrorist organizations, which have then become nothing but a headache, a trouble for the U.S. This is a strategic failure. It's a mistake. It's a failure. It's not a genius conspiracy.
Four-dimensional chess.
No, it was a mistake, and the U.S. has nothing but suffered as a result of that mistake. What's happening in Ukraine is not remotely the same thing. Ukraine actually voluntarily, on their own, chose not to be part of the Russian sphere of influence because they don't want to. Because the majority of Ukrainians say, we don't like Russia, we don't want Russia, we don't want to depend on Russia, we don't want anything to do with Russia, we want to be part of the West. the West has been helping them with that. It's not the same thing at all. Whether you agree with that or not, it's not the same thing at all. This is insanely stupid.
Or is it so brilliant it just blew your mind? Yeah, with all the problems with the U.S. government supporting all these jihadis over the years, is that another example of people not understanding what the heck they're dealing with?
Yeah, pretty much.
We told them. We here at Goat Hub have our own boom boom room. Yep. It's most popular. It's even more popular than Muhammad's boom boom room in Pakistan. We got Adolf here in the boom boom room, played by AP. I believe that is going to happen. Please,
Inshallah,
Muhammad
soon.
meets Jordan Peterson. What do you mean? What do you mean by boom? That's a thing.
I would play Jordan Peterson. Just have to starve myself.
Yeah, you're going to have to starve yourself.
Yeah.
Why does he have to be so skinny? We just need to become friends with Jordan Peterson, and he needs to become a little more disillusioned with Islam, and a little less, oh, get a pen pal, eh? A little less like that, and he might jump in there one day.
He actually started making some really retweeting some really Islamophobic things. I don't know if you're paying
What?
attention.
No, I
But he
wasn't.
just yesterday, I think he actually, there is this account on Twitter, some account that focuses very much in a very harsh way on Islam and its terrible impacts and things that are going on. And they posted a short video of how Islamization changed cultures and cultural dresses into Islamic dresses, and he retweeted that and said the colonization. We are not allowed to speak about, or something like that, something along those lines. He actually tweeted that, which got significant attention. But this is not something that he would do in the past. But he started doing that, most likely as a result of Muslims being very hostile toward him over the last a year or so, which is just so stupid. They had
It's
him.
insanely stupid. You had a guy
They
who
had
wants to build bridges and unite people. Who unite
had
people
him.
for a cause, and what? But
They had
yeah, and the rough part is that's the right then when you had that golden opportunity for access to this guy's platform and followers, you just have to get along with him. That's right. That's right. At the same time, Muslims are becoming going into their aggressive chest thumping. Oh, we're strong. We're stronger than you. You do what we want, and we call you names. We call you names, and that does work with lots of people. It does work with lots of people. It's not going to work with a Jordan Peterson. It's not. He's just gonna give up on building bridges and then start seeing problems. What do you mean by boom, eh? That would be funny. Hello, I don't buy your Allah.
That's good.
I think my rap video, Queer Intifada, is up your alley.
Nice. Gotta check that out.
You'll have to check that out.
Quintifada.
Queer Intifada. What about Muhammad meets Vlad the Impaler? Yeah, we mentioned that. Someone else pointed that out. That is a possibility, and it's one where it's easy to put a costume on and kind of look like the classic picture of Vlad the Impaler. Hey, it would be fun. It would be funny if if Vlad slowly turns into Count Dracula throughout the thing.
No, I was just thinking we can't have an episode with him without including the Dracula aspect and doing some horror.
That
Have
would
to do
be.
that.
Yeah, maybe at some point so it's just Vlad and they're having this discussion. At some point, Muhammad gets a little cut on his finger or something like this, and you see like Vlad's face change when he goes full vampire when he sees the blood.
Have to go into the fantasy horror vampire aspect.
Mhm.
That'd be
Daniel
funny.
Hakikachu meets Chris Hansen, a total To Catch a Predator moment. No, we are going to do To Catch a Predator. Not sure exactly what to call it, To Catch a Prophet or something like that, but that's going to have Muhammad. Now, if we wanted to do a follow-up, yeah, we need someone playing Daniel Hakikachu. But yeah, the plan is to have Muhammad in there. I got to meet
People say I
Vocab.
look like him. I don't see it, but I can't do his voice. He sounds very. Very weird.
He does. He has a weird cadence to his speaking. I got
I
to
was
meet
going to say
Voc.
something different. Yeah, no.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
I got to meet Vocab at Apologeticon. He was a nice guy, way cooler than D Wood. No, if you want to say nice guy, yeah, that's fine. Cooler? No, come on. Mike Winger is the type of nerd to make a book report on how to think more biblically while reading Twilight. That does sound
That's
like
me.
him. Muhammad meets the Wingalings. One Wingaling has the poison and the other has the antidote. Ends with dipping them both in the tea. That would be a Wingaling kind of thing to do. Ooh, yeah, Avery would do that. Next, Muhammad meets God Logic. That'd be a good one.
Nice.
That'd
That's
be a good
good.
one. Oh, here you go. No, good one. Do Muhammad meets Ezra. Love from Israel. That's a good one. Guys, by the way, this is why I ask. I mean, there's something, there's some we didn't need to, no one needed to request them. We thought of it. Well, oh, we got to do that. There are others where people are making requests, but you see the same names coming up multiple times, like Joseph Smith and Alexander the Great and so on. So you're thinking, oh, okay, lots of people want to see this one. But then there are situations like this where it's just, oh, that would be good. Did not think of that at all. Did not think of that. Muhammad as a promo. I thought it was spelled with an H and didn't have the PR in it. That's pretty rude. Pretty rude. He did like to get kissed all over his milky white flesh by his companion. So no wonder the Boom Boom Room is expensive to produce when AP have to snort several lines of nose candy. That is,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because he wasn't paying for his own stuff there.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah.
"This is what I need. This is what I need to perform. And do you want the episode? If so." And so we had to.
Yeah, we had to find a very special dealer who had the exact stuff that I needed. It was a little bit difficult. We at some point we even considered crossing the border and smuggling some stuff in, but yeah.
Indeed, AP deserves an Oscar.
Nah. Oscar deserves me.
I was just thinking. I was just thinking, man, if we should make an entire movie. Think of something to do with it, but it's like, hey, you're already in costume, just record an entire movie, and then you can win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Muhammad's Boom Boom Room concept of having a poetry showdown of history's best poets, and Mo is the worst. Even serial killer poetry Mo must concede poetry is not enough. That would be good to have the poetry showdown. Who could he be going against, though? Hey, you know what? Vocab recorded this on his own, and so, but I would like to have it professionally recorded. Years ago, we did not get we didn't get a good recording of this, so I don't think it's been released. But Vocab made a spoken word poem where he is a 7th century Arabian slam poet complaining about Muhammad killing all the. It's a slam poem about Muhammad killing all the poets of Arabia. And he's talking about how they're all getting killed in the name of this new prophet here. That's one need a good recording of. Could we get Muhammad to meet the greatest Turk of all time? AP. Light years ahead of every Turk, savior of Turkey, the Messiah Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, or Abdulaziz, two of the biggest whole leader memes. AP probably knows who they are. Who'd be the greatest Turk of all time? Is there any Turk who should be in the Boom Boom Room besides you, AP?
Turk and greatest doesn't make any sense together. That just sounds ridiculously absurd.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It's
think
an
of.
oxymoron.
AP just called Turks oxymorons. My apologies. Shekels are only for AP's channel. Apology not accepted. That's not even true.
I do insist on doing the Jeffrey Dahmer episode because it's my personal superhero. But then I also think, I don't know if this would appeal to more people, but it would be fun to have a Jim Jones episode as well.
Why you
What?
just always want like pure evil people, and those are the people you're obsessed with? Everything is Hitler,
Because-
Jim Jones, Jeffrey Dahmer. Everyone else like Jordan Peterson. Like, no, cannibal. We need a cannibal.
It would be fun to see a comparison between Jim Jones and Muhammad. You know.
No, that would be like they could have a battle over who's the greatest false prophet.
Yeah.
Just catching up, watching from the start. That skit was great. Yes, it was. Don't know which one you meant, but we have multiple great ones. AP Ernst says, have you watched Not Without My Daughter? Do you think what happened to her happens often? I've not seen the film. I know the gist. I know the story. And yes, it happens a lot because pretty much everywhere I travel, there's usually one or two women who come up to me during a break and explain that that's exactly what happened to them.
I don't know anything about the story, although I know about the name of the story, and I haven't watched it, but it does happen.
Yeah, it happens. Thank you. That was awesome. I finally found out what the boom room is. What was the book about all the daddy issues that you used, though? That is by psychologist Paul Vitz, and it's called The Faith of the Fatherless. And he talks about how losing father figures or having very bad father figures, so like massively abusive fathers or something like that, when you're young, affects you in the future. And one of the issues is problem with viewing God favorably as like a heavenly father. If what's been imprinted on your mind is a very negative view of father figures and so on. Anyway, so he goes through this entire book, and then in the end, he had, and Anthony Rogers was the one who pointed this out to me. He points out that there's a section at the end which talks about how this psychology would have manifested on people in the past. And it sounded exactly like Muhammad. And you look at the life of Muhammad, it's like, wait a minute, he lost every father figure and mother figure he had by the time he was 8. And it's like, the book said exactly what would happen for someone like that, and it's exactly like Muhammad's life. Just keep in mind, because people always misunderstand this. Not saying if this happens to you when you're a kid, this is what's going to happen to you as an adult. It's not. You're talking about statistics. These sorts of things that happen, they tend to increase odds of various things happening among adults and so on. But it's just Muhammad is such like. I mean, it's like perfect. You look at the description. If this happens to you when you're young, these issues skyrocket in adulthood, depending on the severity. And you look at Muhammad, it's like every single thing that's in the book, even though the book has nothing to do with Muhammad. He's not talking about Muhammad at all. He's talking about psychological studies. What he says is going to happen with someone who has Muhammad's childhood issues, it's exactly like the life of Muhammad. And so that's what's interesting about it. Need to revisit that for more stuff.
All right. I just watched DC Isaac's video, Queer Intifada, and it's very good. In fact, get in touch with me, please. Send me a message wherever you are. I think we need to work together. DC Isaac.
Is that someone who knows how to use graphics or something?
Pretty good stuff. Pretty good, talented stuff. I like it. I love it.
Send me the link to that, AP. I will check it out later.
Yeah, I will.
AP, you should definitely debate Dave Smith. He's a major figure in the libertarian space, and we need a paler cleansing. Do us a solid.
I haven't heard much of him, which is why I kind of gave a little bit of a maybe response. I received the invitation from Tim Pool's people, but yeah, I could try to pick that up again.
Quit running from him. Why are you running from Dave Smith? Little weakling. I'm afraid. Did you guys talk about the Islam attack on churches and synagogue in Russia today already? Yes, we did. American media will most likely largely ignore this.
Yes.
Doesn't fit the narrative. AP, that interview you did, my comment was removed for hate. All I said was serpent talking to Adam and Eve and deception is not the same as rocks and trees.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. Cool.
No,
Nice.
someone's comment got taken down or something like that. Interview you did, my comment was removed.
I guess so.
Oh, so what interview? That's talking about the same interview.
I guess that was the interview of my the interview. Was that the one on heretics, Andrew Gold? I guess that's what you're talking about. Because you say serpent talking to Adam and Eve in deception was not the same as rocks and trees talking. Yeah, because during that interview it came up that it came where I said that rocks and trees will be talking according to the hadith and will be saying to the Muslims, "There's a Jew behind me, come and kill him." And then I think Andrew Gold said, "Well, that's religion for you." To which,
Nice.
which I didn't respond.
Of course
I thought
not.
that was very, very
Of
disrespectful.
course not. You're like, yeah, good point. Good point. Yes, you see, Dawkins was right.
Yeah. you see.
D Wood, how did you get through talking to Mike Winger about Jesus' death for 1 hour 4 years ago? I would not talk to Mike Winger about anything except why I can't stand his stupid nerd face. I live in Ohio. Where's the conference? I haven't heard about it. Yeah, check out. There's a link in some of the recent Act 17 polemics videos. You go to I'm assuming she's got it on her channel. Hey, someone post a link if you can to the conference site. L's right there. L, share a link for that one Christian who said, "I live in Ohio. Where's the conference? I haven't heard about it." So we got the link. Yes, you're in Ohio. Then I will see you there. Mike Winger is the type of person to float when he smells pie on a windowsill. Is there a site where people are getting these jokes? Like an old cartoon when you smell something and you sort of float in the air. That does. But everything they're saying about Mike is so perfect. Nearly 1 in 4 Muslims leave Islam, and also the vast majority of Muslims who convert to Islam leave within a few years of converting. What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this, AP? This is true, by the way.
Nearly 1 in 4 Muslims leave Islam, also the majority of Muslims who convert to Islam. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the 1 in 4 total. I've seen with this figure from Muslim scholars who are warning Muslims about the avalanche of apostasy. But I saw 1 in 4 young Muslims is leaving Islam. So 24%, somewhere in there. But then, yes, this is an old statistic as far as people converting to Islam and then leaving Islam. I also had that in a Muslim booklet that was warning people about the problems of getting these converts. And it was saying over half of people who convert to Islam leave Islam within 2 years of converting. And so there's this ongoing issue where the da'is are creating more and more ex-Muslims. Got it? They're creating ex-Muslims because they're running around, hey, just recite the Shahada, just recite the Shahada. Oh, look a video. Hey, look, this person recited Shahada. Yay. Okay. There's like a 60 to 70% chance that person's going to leave Islam over the next few years. So you just made an ex-Muslim genius.
But I don't think that they can actually create people, so that sounds like nonsense.
AP, I sent you some pics on X that you will like.
Stop being perverted.
Yeah, we're not interested in your perverted pictures, Lloyd.
Yeah, I don't want nudes or anything. Please don't do that to me.
Mike Winger is the type of person that while he is falling, he screams, "My altitude is decreasing." Where, guys, again, is there a site where people are coming up where people are like just copying these, or like people are these common jokes in some section of I don't know what weird sites people are on nowadays. Mike Winger is the kind of guy who actually enjoys watching romantic comedies with his wife. What a nerd. Muhammad should interview Mike Winger, played by David, in the next Boom Boom Room. That would be funny. I'd have to really nerd it up, but I could do it.
Hey, Lloyd sent me a bunch of pictures of memes where the faces are replaced with your face, David.
Oh, really?
Including one of Zakir Naik with your face on it. So.
Oh, okay. I'm just glad it wasn't some other kind of pictures with my face. because Thaddeus gets at it when he goes live, and he'll open it up for Muslims to come on live, but he has to put it on a delay because guys kept coming, and then all they want to post is like gay porn with our faces superimposed on people. Anyway, that's Dawa, ladies and gentlemen. That's Dawa. Dawa's powerful. The first Great Awakening and such things were needed for the U.S. to have hope of formation. Islamic countries, yeah. You don't have the right kind of population. Iran, I would say, is the closest. Iran, the population there may be ready for it. Other places, not so much.
Iran.
Pair character bowing down and saying, thank you, pair character. With Vlad, make sure he has blood in a bowl, and Muhammad walks down a hallway with a bunch of dummies with spikes in them, and Muhammad converts. Hey, what we should do? Because it's funny, because people have good ideas for stuff. We should have like a writing session where we say, okay, here's let's say it's Muhammad meets Vlad the Impaler, and we toss out the idea, and then people can just share their ideas and funny lines in the chat, and then we could take the ones we like best and put them together. Walk out of there with a script.
We shall.
That would be good.
That'd be big.
Muhammad meets the Ottoman Empire Sultan that combined the Quran. Would be good to have Muhammad meeting some of these important figures from Islamic history. Mike Winger, the type of nerd to invite D. Wood and AP to watch Twilight and pause when they're in the cafeteria to find all the national flags, name, and rate them. That is true. Joshua, D. Wood, do you recommend I get Epictetus Stoic Classics collection, the discourses, and Enchiridion? Translator George Long, what Epictetus should I get on Amazon? You definitely want those are the ones you want. I don't know about the translation. I would check the reviews. For the translation. Epictetus. Good stuff, though.
No.
Epictetus, ladies and gentlemen, one of the last great Stoics. Epictetus was a slave who'd been beaten so horribly that he was permanently disabled. He was eventually freed and started his own school of Stoic philosophy and said a bunch of super dope stuff.
I don't think so.
Ali Dawa's wife on the Boom Boom Room, her whiteboard should just debunk Islam, but since Muhammad and Ali can't read, they think she's praising them. He said Muhammad and Ali can't read.
Yeah. That's good.
I do think she's going to be making an appearance. Do Muhammad meets John of Damascus. That's a good one, too. You know, to be good for Muhammad meets John of Damascus would be to actually have some of John of Damascus's actual arguments in the video.
He did talk about Islam.
Shakespeare would jihad Muhammad a base? Oh, as far as like if they're having a poetry battle or something like that. Suggestion for Muhammad movie title: Look Who's Back 2. See what the other Look Who's Back movie is.
Look Who's Back is a movie about Hitler where it's a comedy movie.
Well, yeah, because nothing's funnier than Hitler.
It's a German comedy movie where
Look
Hitler
Who's Back
returns.
2 is funny.
It's just a complete idiot.
That's funny. Look up UK kids show called Horrible Histories. There's a kids show called Horrible Histories?
That sounds horrible.
That sounds bad. Muhammad meets Smiles to Jenna. It would be grape. Muhammad meets Smiles to Jenna, the grapist. Muhammad gets graped in the mouth by Smiles to Jenna. Who is going to be the first to make an AI song using David Wood, AP, or Mike Winger voice? Because that would be based like, imagine Mike Winger singing Follow God by Kanye or AP singing Erica. Do you know what song Erica is?
No.
I don't know the songs. Muhammad meets Farfour. Ooh, yeah, I've thought about that one. He later thinks he is a black dog. No, he would think he's a Jew. Muhammad would think that Farfour is a Jew who's been punished by Allah by turning him into a mouse. Mike Winger's the type of guy to say, "We've got company" when the cops arrive.
They mean the German song Erica? Oh my god, I thought it was talking about Kanye. I thought Kanye had a song named Erica. No, Erica is a German military song.
Oh,
an old one.
Well, Kanye doesn't have a song called Erica, but he's got a song called Gold Digger.
Terrible song. Yep. If it wasn't, if it didn't severely and brutally go against Christian morality, I thought it would be funny to have another episode where one of the recent celebrities who is supporting Hamas also makes an appearance in the Boom Boom Room, who is known for some interesting entertainment. But
who?
That's probably a very bad idea.
Oh, you thinking Kanye?
I don't want to say her name. No, MK.
Oh.
Who is a female in the entertainment industry. So
oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had to think who's been running her mouth. Yeah. As a Jew, I'm glad that it's hard to become Jewish. Because you believe you're chosen and it's superior to everyone else. You don't want anyone else also becoming superior to everyone else.
You see, this is the proof.
Momo and Joe Biden talking about sniffing little girls. With me now is a guy who's called the Super Sniffer. Mike Winger's the type of person who has Civilization 7 already on his Steam wish list. I'm guessing that's a video game.
Yeah, to be honest, not as I also put it on my wish list.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, he just said you're like Mike Winger. David Wood will kill the Goliath of Islam using the pebbles of truth through the sling of YouTube. It's a good description. And Tracy here, Muhammad meets the different sects of Islam to find out who's correct. He meets the different sects of Islam to find out who's correct.
Yeah. Let's talk about sects.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about. Trying to think if we could write that entire thing. What if? Yeah, write a parody, but it's about all the different sects of Islam and what they teach and all the differences. That would be fun.
And you could use the music. It would be because it's fair use.
It's because parody. It's parody.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good.
Indeed. Oh, guys, we have a debate tomorrow. We have a debate tomorrow at, I believe it is 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the channel The Gospel Truth. In fact, if someone wants to toss a link in there, that would be helpful. Let me check The Gospel Truth. I guess we'll just share the links before the show tomorrow. Yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow on The Gospel Truth. David Wood, an apostate prophet versus, it's a 2-on-2 debate. David Wood, an apostate prophet versus Tahir Nasser and Umar Nasser. Was Muhammad a true prophet? So we got some Muslims stepping up and defending Muhammad and actually showing why people should believe in Muhammad. I'll probably say this in the intro tomorrow. When you've got all these Dawah guys who run around saying, oh, we've got this awesome case and this is the proof that Muhammad's a true prophet, but they will never in a million years defend that claim in any sort of debate. Keep in mind, not everyone's a debater. People don't have to debate. When you've got an entire Dawah community and they won't touch certain issues, it makes me think that they don't really believe in the arguments they're giving. It makes me think they don't really believe in them. But anyway, oh, okay, yeah, Elle shared there. Elle shared the link to the debate tomorrow. Where Zane said, D. Wood admitting earlier he has a Darth Vader costume. You don't easily forget these things. I do not have a Darth Vader costume. I purchased a very expensive Darth Vader costume for Muhammad's Boom Boom Room and then left it at Vocab's. And so Vocab has a very good Darth Vader costume. unless he sold it or something. But I don't think he will because he's a Star Wars nerd.
Oh,
So he probably sleeps in that thing. He probably sleeps in that thing. He's like,
Hey, now this is how Darth Vader sleeps. I'm sleeping like Darth Vader now.
why did I use my Mike Winger verse, my Mike Winger voice for vocab?
Erica.
Let's see. All right, last couple of super chats here. AP acting like he didn't know Erica right away, like he isn't a big fan of the big A dog, or wishes he could vote for that, or even go to prison with him. No, AP likes different German music. That's why he has the CD, The Best of Falco.
Yeah, I don't like Erica.
Amadeus. What about meeting Muhammad? Ooh, yeah, we'd have to get someone to play him. And that's some of the parts. Some people are so distinct looking that you have to think, if you don't, because I can't think of anyone that I know who could play Masab. Masab, if you ever want to be in the Boom Boom Room, we can introduce you to Muhammad. Just so you know, you will most likely get blown up. Horrible histories makes the past funny. Oh, that's good. Muhammad meets Allah. Spoiler, it's Muhammad. We had Muhammad meet Satan, which he thought was the angel Gabriel. And then we had him meet the angel Gabriel. And he thought he already knew the angel Gabriel because he knew Satan. In Civilization 6, I always found Islam and start wars. You probably know what that means, AP.
Yes.
Please, D Wood, go hard in the debate. I want a bloodbath. Well, that's going to be up to our opponents. How friendly we are. We're going to start friendly, but it's always up to the other person. Always up to the other person. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
We've been going for a good little while. Debate tomorrow. Hopefully, just thinking, hopefully I get over this little cold, but it's not going to happen. So cough drops tomorrow.
what?
Trying to think of, since this is a Boom Boom Room live stream, thinking of who's going to be next in the Boom Boom Room.
Oh yeah.
Not as far as the request. I'm talking about as far as the ones I've recorded already. Which one will be next? I predict for next week, Muhammad meets Salman Rushdie with Robert Spencer starring as Salman Rushdie. I predict.
What if we had Baphomet in the Boom Boom Room?
Oh yeah, Muhammad meets Baphomet. That would be another one where he meets himself. That would be funny. And finally here, AP, the type of person to coop with Mike Winger. Is that co-op? What is that? What is
Co-op. That's what you use when you play multiplayer games together with somebody.
Oh, I've done that. I played Call of Duty zombie mode with other people before.
See.
Now we all know. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. The episode of Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. If you want to check it out on its own, the Freud episode and the new one, Muhammad Meets David Wood. Those are over on Act 17 Polemics channel. You can check it out. There are more episodes of the Boom Boom Room over there. And we will have a debate tomorrow. Once again, if you're in the Ohio area and you want to go to the Apologetics Conference next month, you can. Me and AP will also be recording a video inside the church. If you want, there are cutaways to the audience saying various things in response. So if you want to actually be in a dope video, you can. But don't be in the video and then come back later and be like, I don't want to be in the video anymore. Too late. All right. I don't want to be there anymore. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Check out more of the Boom Boom Room and hope to see you tomorrow at our debate. It'll be super dope.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah.